This next learning segment, we are going to be looking into these so-called men who built America, and I want us to ask ourselves the question, were these people robber barons, or were they captains of industry? Uh, let's first look into the term robber baron. It was applied to businessmen in the 19th century who engaged in unethical and monopolistic practices. They wielded widespread political influence and amassed enormous wealth. The term itself dates back centuries and was originally applied to noblemen in the Middle Ages who functioned as feudal warlords and were literally robber barons. In the 1870s, the term began to be used to describe business tycoons, and the usage persisted throughout the rest of the 19th century. The late 1800s and the first decade of the 20th century is sometimes referred to as the Age of Robber Barons. As the United States transformed into an industrial society with little regulation of business, it was possible for small numbers of men to dominate crucial industries. Uh, we ask ourselves, what are some of the causes? We see the conditions that favored these vast accumulations of wealth included extensive natural resources being discovered as the country expanded, including lumber, coal, and oil. We also have an enormous potential workforce of immigrants arriving into the country, and a business model which referred to as laissez-faire capitalism, where the government has little regulation of business. Railroad builders in particular, needing political influence to build their railways, became adept in influencing politicians through the use of lobbyists, or in some cases outright bribery. And in the public mind, robber barons were often associated with political corruption. This concept of laissez-faire capitalism, which dictated no government regulation of business, was promoted, facing new impediments to creating monopolies, engaging in shady stock trading practices, or exploiting workers. Some individuals made enormous fortunes. Uh, we're going to be looking at a few of these people here. Some of the most notable examples we have are Cornelius Vanderbilt, owner of steamship lines and railroads. We also have Andrew Carnegie, steel manufacturer. Also, we see J.P. Morgan, financier and banker. And then finally, we're going to look at John D. Rockefeller, founder of Standard Oil. The men who were called robber barons were sometimes portrayed in positive light as self-made men who had helped build the nation and in the process created many jobs for American workers. However, the public mood turned against them in the 19th century. Criticism from newspapers and social critics began to find an audience, and American workers began to organize in great numbers as the labor movement accelerated. In class, we're going to be doing an activity looking into these political cartoons and trying to apply some of these new learning materials that we've discovered today. Thanks.